Watch this video if you want to learn what is a wife's guide to life. My name is Dana and I own a platform called Better Topics where we regularly help hundreds of couples experience more love, joy and connection and also have a lot of fun. Now I wanted to start this wife's guide to life / relationship and marriage series for quite a while now. And finally I got around to actually do it because there are so many things that I want to talk about, so many things that I wish I knew before I got married and even in the early stages of my marriage really. Therefore, this video is for all of you who either want to know because you don't know yet, or you want to have some sort of confirmation whether whatever you're doing is right or not. Now, I'm not saying that I know everything or that these things are suitable for all relationships and all the different variant type of personalities and people involved in those relationships. I'm just saying that these are general rules that you should kind of keep an eye on, because although they might not be 100% accurate, but they can be tailored and implemented in most lifestyles and relationships. Hi, I'm sorry to interrupt the video, but I really wanted to tell you about our Better Topics card game for couples that we have just launched, and you can find this on our website, and I will leave a link for this in the description box below. It is basically a card game that is designed for couples to help them communicate more by asking a lot of fun questions. You can also use modifiers to make it even more fun and game-like, and at the end of the game you also get rewards and your partner needs to fulfill those. They cannot say no to that. Make sure you check out our link in the description box below to get your own game. Now let's get back to the video. The first thing I would want to talk about related to this subject is that it all starts with you. Your relationships, whether they are romantic or not, they all start with you first and with your relationship with yourself. And basically with the advice that you should start loving yourself first instead of doing what most people do, which is looking for love outside of them. And that means other people, and many times the wrong sort of people, or even things or situations or anything outside of them that can bring them love. Now, the issue with that is that first of all, you have to behave in a certain way in order to receive any love from other people, and most people would like you to behave in a way that they think you should behave, not the way you think you should behave, or not the way you just are, basically. And many times this can be quite stressful and forceful as well, because if you think about it, that means to pretend you are someone who you are not. Now, I'm not saying you should not improve your skills or the way you behave, but it doesn't really mean that you have to totally change it if you're just not that type of person, only to receive love. I see so many people being in the wrong relationships with people that don't really appreciate them for who they are, but they're constantly expecting them and putting them under a lot of pressure to be and behave in a certain way that those people think they should. And that is totally wrong. Again, I'm not saying that you should just go crazy and do whatever you think only and without any regard to other people. But there is a difference between behaving the way you are and being polite, or having to change everything about your behavior and how you are just to please other people, just for those people to give you some love. Again, by expecting love from other people, we might end up in relationships where, although we might think we are loved, we actually are not. But we are too blind to see that because of the desire of having love. It's so strong. Another issue with this is that the moment you stop behaving the way other people expect you to behave, they will stop giving you love or what you think it is love, therefore creating just a lot more frustration within you. There are other people who search for love in other things rather than people, which is excessive shopping. Please note I said excessive shopping, not that you go and buy, I don't know, few shoes. excessive shopping to the point where you cannot really afford it, but you feel you definitely need to shop more, or excessive eating, drinking, partying, anything that is done in excess basically is a cry out for help and for attention, and people just tend to act out in a way because they don't know how else to ask for love from either people around them or basically just to feel loved even just a bit. Therefore, it is crucial that first you start with self-love. And this is very important because those outside sources of love, they're just temporary. They don't last. And even if they last for quite a while, the things that you need to do to get that love always increases and always changes. Therefore, just leaving you in a lot of stress and disappointment at the end, because no matter what you do, you will never have the same amount of love from outside than the love you can give yourself from inside. Therefore, I really would advise you to first try to see to what level do you actually love yourself right now, and where would you really want to be. Now, this topic about self-love is quite widely discussed everywhere, really, on YouTube as well. But how do you know if you really love yourself, or how can you love yourself? Because so many people talk about self-love, but how does it manifest? How do you know? Well, one thing I can tell you that I know how is not to love yourself. Because every time you don't take care of yourself, and I'm not just saying the physical body, but that too, because the physical body and the physical signals, we can actually see them quicker and they're more obvious than the internal ones. And most of the time, whatever happens inside of you tends to manifest outside as well. Therefore, if you're used to eating excessively and you are overweight, or you're not taking care of yourself, and many times you tend to eat sweets or eat compulsively when you're upset especially, all of those are signs that you don't truly love yourself. If you're in a relationship where you are not respected, you're not loved and cherished, again, that is a sign that you don't love yourself. Because if you would love yourself, first of all, you would not clog your body with a lot of food, especially a lot of junk food and a lot of sweets, which, yes, they taste good on the moment, but then there are so many bad repercussions to them that is not worth it, really. Those 5 seconds of feeling something sweet and tasty in your mouth is not worth it to stress your body basically with the wrong types of food and to do a lot of things that just lead to gaining a lot of weight, which is not just unattractive, but is not good for your body. Because a healthy body, it's not overweight. And anyway, we all have different shapes and sizes. However, again, a healthy body, it's never overweight. And the moment you punish your own body, it means that you do not love yourself. And as I said before, there are so many people that stay in relationships where they are not loved, they are not cherished, they don't love their partner, but they still stay in those relationships. That is not self-love. Now, I'm not saying that you should leave your relationship and your partner the first minute you have a fight or an argument. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, there is no point for you to punish yourself in staying in a relationship that is not great and fulfilling just because you don't know any better, just because you don't want to be alone, just because of financial things. Whatever your situation is, I am sure you can always find people with worse situations that they had to get out of, and they did. If you say you're in your current relationship just because, your partner is supporting you in a financial way, I can tell you there are so many women that left having 1 kid, 2 kids, even 4 kids. They left their husband because they were not happy in that relationship. And yes, it was a financial struggle, but it was still better to struggle financially than to struggle in the relationship. Therefore, it all starts with you. You have to understand whether what you are doing in your day-to-day life and how you're behaving, is that showing you self-love? And few things how you can actually start showing yourself self-love is, first of all, by taking care of your health, because that is the most important. If you are not healthy, you cannot really support other people around you. You cannot be there for your family or friends or children or parents maybe, or you name it. If you need help, how can you help other people? And this was such a great advice I got so many years ago. And although it was related to finance at that point in time, it does make sense in so many other areas in life. And the advice was that if you're broke, how can you help other people? Because most people will need something related to money. This advice is so good in so many areas of life. And in relationships and love, we can apply the same principle. If you don't love yourself, how can you love other people? Truly. If you do not love yourself, how can you let other people know how to love you? And you can start with small things. You don't have to do any grand gestures. What it counts is to do small steps every day. And that consistency over time builds up your self-love. I know I had to start loving myself step by step. In the beginning, I thought that if I make few changes, that's it. Next day I'll wake up and I'll be so in love with myself that, I don't even need anyone else. But that's not the case. In most cases, we need step-by-step progress, and we need a lot of consistency and daily things to do for ourselves that fill our soul basically with a lot of self-love. And you can start with the smallest steps. If you're overweight or you're out of shape or you have health problems, then you can start trying fixing that. And then slowly, you can add to that a lot of other things that you feel that would make you more loved. Again, if you're not very sure, just start with one and then build up on that. Because as you go ahead and as you start loving yourself more and more every day, you will find new ways how to demonstrate that to yourself. Even if that means just to give up junk food or junk people, meaning toxic people out of your life. Let me know in the comments below what are few things that you think would demonstrate to yourself that you truly love yourself. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends.